XFS, exploding with action-packed fights. All right, our main event of the evening getting set to go down. Tony Velarde taking on Matt Frembling. Tony Velarde is 33 years old, fighting out of San Diego. They call him Tony the Tiger. He's supposed to be an all-around fighter. He's won 3 Tough Man contests, wrestled for over 5 years, went to Olympic trials even twice. Muay Thai 3+ years, and the same with Jiu-Jitsu. What do you got on Frembling, Mike?
Matt, the American badass Frembling from Temecula, California, 35 years old, standing at 6'2", 240 pounds out of Mob MMA. This guy cross-trains all types of mixed martial arts. Apologies there. This guy's got a funny story. He said his older brother used to beat him up a lot, so he knew how to take a beating. And years ago, he walked into a gym so he could learn to give a beating.
That's a great story. I'm sure it's true of a lot of guys. The older brother syndrome. Luckily, my older brothers weren't too harsh on me, at least in the violence department. Of course, I am Spencer Lazara. My co-host here for many of the fights has been Michael Jenkin. And we had Lorenz Larkin sit in on a few. You can check out the website, MMAinterviews.tv. We bring you the best video coverage in the sport of mixed martial arts. I promise you that. Feature stories on all the UFC fighters. Tonight, though, we are here at XFS, filming these fights, calling these fights. Brought to you by Watkins Bail Bonds. Never quit. Fight gear. Looking forward to this main event. Michael, it's good to have you out with me, buddy. Always helpful. Big part of MMA interview.
It's always great being out here. Tonight's been a great night of fights. A lot of exciting fights. You know, XFS really stepped their game up, brought a lot of higher talent in here, and it's provided for a great night of fights for the fans.
Definitely. We'll head to our ring announcer here to get us our introduction.
Please have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, it's fight time. Introducing your main event. Your Xplode Places Super Fights. Introducing fighter number 1. He's representing the blue corner. He Watkins Bail Bonds blue corner. This professional martial artist has a record of 7 wins, 3 losses. He stands at 6 feet tall. He weighs in at 240 pounds. Representing the SoCal Martial Arts Company of Chula Vista. Presenting Tony the Tiger! Introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, the Liquid Nitro Energy Drink, blue red corner. This professional martial artist has a record of 12 wins, 2 losses. He stands here at 6 feet 2 inches tall. He weighs in at 240 pounds. From Temecula, California, we represent MMA. Presenting Matt, the American Badass Velarde. Fight dance, ladies and gentlemen, this is the next.
We are ready. Cecil Peoples giving the fighters their instructions. We've brought in Lorenz Larkin as well. We've got a 3-man team here, Michael Jenkin, Lorenz Larkin, and Spencer Lazara to call this fight. You know Matt Frembling a little bit, right, Lorenz? What's his skill set?
His skill set's mostly, ground. His ground game is really good, and his striking is coming along, but his strengths is taking the guy down and imposing his will.
Do you know anything about the Tiger over there, Antonio Velarde?
I don't. I just know he's fired up right now.
He comes out here in southpaw stance. Both men actually in the southpaw stance. Velarde lands a left hand in tight. Leg kick from Frembling. Definitely a fast-paced start here. Somebody very likely to get hurt early. Cecil Peoples almost gets in the way and gets knocked over as the two fighters clinch against the cage. Once again, Cecil Peoples makes contact with the fighters.
Cecil needs to back away.
Definitely.
Dangerous in there, Cecil. You gotta watch yourself.
He's an experienced guy. He didn't seem worried at all, actually. I would be with those two big guys flying at you. Velarde getting the better of the clinch game so far, keeping Frembling against the cage early in round one. Oh, and Frembling reverses position, puts Velarde against the cage. Velarde's the one going more active with the strikes, though, here against the cage, Lorenz.
Yeah, you know, Matt really needs to drop down for that double or a single and take him down because Tony's defending really well. He's switching his hips. He's trying to get away from Matt. So Matt needs to put more pressure and drop down and take him down.
He's got double unders, it looks like here, but Velarde doing a good job keeping his hips back. Michael?
Frembling really, like Lorenz said, really needs to just take this fight to the ground. He's not doing much in the clinch here. He's just taking a lot of dirty boxing punches to the face. Throws a knee now. That could really start something for him. He needs to work himself down and get Velarde down to the ground.
I can see Cecil Peoples breaking this up soon if nothing happens. Both men clash knees as they both try to throw a knee, and that must have hurt. Crazy timing on the knee clash there. Both men throwing simultaneously. Looks like Frembling has a small cut on his left eye. Not going to be a problem, though. The fight is put back in the center of the cage by Peoples. Left hand, left kick from Velarde. Frembling looks not wobbly, but just a little bit gassed already at the end of this first round. And a combination finally from Frembling.
Yeah, you know, Matt's getting off on his hands, but he really needs to take it down where he's comfortable at. He's not comfortable right now. And all this is doing is really gassing himself out. He's looking like his tank is draining a little bit. And he really needs to get this down to the ground where he's comfortable.
Neither man looking very comfortable in the stand-up game. They both look somewhat awkward and easily accepting the clinch. Fremling's looking to be a little more active now with some knees. He hasn't really landed any punches in the fight, but his knees have been a little more effective from the clinch.
Tries to throw one again there, but an uppercut from Velarde seems to land, two of them, and Frembling did not like that. A knee, though, from Frembling now to the body, and a knee back from Velarde. Interesting fight here with 10 seconds left in the round. Tough round to call. I'd say Velarde has a slight edge just by being a more active fighter in the striking department. As the round comes to a close, what do you think, Lorenz? What do you think took round one?
It's pretty hard, man. I'm going to have to say Matt, just for cage control. That was a determining factor. I mean, they're both giving off a little shots. Nobody got nobody down. But Matt was pressuring him against the fence, so I would give it to Matt.
Yeah, he definitely had a little better cage control, but took punches. Interesting to see how the judges will score that one, right, Mike?
You know, that's one of those ones you're going to look at. If you let this go to the judge's decision, if you're the fighter that loses this fight, you're going to be upset. Because you could easily say Velarde wins that fight, that round, but from the judge's standpoint, Frembling controlled most of the round and the positioning, so it's hard to say who wins that round. I would say Frembling, but I can easily say where you say Velarde.
I would say most of the judges, due to the cut on the eye, slight blood coming, they will give the round to Velarde. And Fremling's corner leaves the chair in the cage, and Lorenz has to point it out to their cornerman to take it out. Definitely not the proudest moment for the cornerman there. And we start round two. Frembling looking a little more comfortable early, throwing a left kick again. The men clinch up and go again against the cage. Finally, Frembling goes for a trip and gets it. That's something you've seen him do in practice before, Lorenz?
Yes, actually, yes. This is exactly where Matt needs to be, imposing his will. He really looks controlled. Tony looks like he's just out of position. He's not comfortable. It's not where he wants to be.
What are his go-to submissions? Anything he can pull from here?
You know what? I really think that he's just going to ride him out. He's going to maybe knee on belly. He's going to turn him back on his back, get knee on belly position, and rain down strikes.
Okay.
You know, Velarde looks very uncomfortable here. He's trying to get back to his feet, but Frembling just continues to ride him. But if you can see, Velarde's got a leg out and a knee up, so he's looking like he's positioning to try to get himself up on the cage.
Trying to grab some wrist control. So far, Frembling is unable to land any strikes from this position. He's sort of looking to put a rear naked choke in, but he's not in position with the legs to do so at all. Still trying to lock it in. It's not under the chin. Be more of a neck crank, if anything, right?
Yeah, you know, Frembling is doing, though, he's trapping him with that right knee. He's right in between his legs, so Tony can't get that leg out to cage walk back up. So that's a nice little slick move he's doing. Something small and subtle that's going to stop him from getting back up.
You know, Velarde could work himself here and try to get back underneath Fremling's legs. He can push himself up on the cage now. He's trying to get himself up. Looks like Fremling's trying to get his back, but he went over too up to the top. Velarde's back up to his feet now.
Yes, Velarde makes it back to his feet, and the men come against the cage there. Frembling clearly taking control of this round, and round one was close, but this round leaning heavily towards Frembling thus far.
Fremling's done a great job in the clinch, throwing knees to the abdomen of Velarde. One of his more accurate strikes of the night. Looks like Velarde's really uncomfortable in there and does not want any more of those knees to the midsection.
I wouldn't either.
Velarde looks to be gassing, breathing heavily, but Fremling's doing the same on him. The trouble with these big men is they're starting to gas, and it looks like we're going to go to a third round. Hopefully, one of the men can impose his way. Possible cup check right there, but Cecil People says he doesn't see anything, so the men continue to fight.
Yeah, I don't think that hurt him too much, even though we saw a little grimace there. Maybe just hoping that Cecil would see it and stop and give him a little bit of a break, as both men slowing down a bit right now. 10 seconds left in the round as it comes to a close. Frembling continues to press Velarde against the cage, takes the round easily on the scorecards, 10-9. So, we either have an even fight or we have Frembling up 2-0. And that's the thing about MMA, it's always tough like that, right? When you have a 10-9 must system, Lorenz, and you know, you're not sure where the judges are going, and you have such a close round and then a dominating round, but the fight could be even.
Yeah, you know, you don't know who you have judging. You don't know what judge likes what. You know, some judges like stand-up, and some judges favor wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So, and some judges favor cage control. So, you never know.
Lorenz, as a fighter, going into the third round on what could be a possible 1-1 split or 2-0 split, what are you thinking in your mind getting ready for this third round?
Just to show everybody, show the crowd, show the judges that you're going to dominate this round, because, you know, even if I'm winning 2 rounds, you know, I still want to finish out my third round stronger than my first and second. You know, though that's the last image of the judges, you know, in my head. That
kind of did that against Nick Rossborough.
Yeah, you know, I think every fighter should. You know, that's the last round. That's what your whole training camp's been evolved around. That's why you want to finish out strong.
And we get started on the third round here. Frembling looking a little bit wobbly and stiff, standing a little robotic. Velarde a little bit crisper, just a little bit more fluid in the stand-up. Both men tiring out here as the third round gets going. A leg kick again from Frembling, but he doesn't have much hip in it. It's just extending that leg out there. You haven't been working with him on his kicks there, have you, much, Lorenz?
No. I haven't got a chance to work with him at all. But, you know, he's looking like he's turning it up. But Tony just got a good punch off.
Very big left hand from Velarde. Momentarily rocks Frembling and gives him a vote of confidence here in this third round.
Absolutely. After that horrific second round for Velarde, that's something that can really boost him and motivate him and potentially take this fight. He needs to take over control of the cage right now in this clinch and potentially take the third round and win this fight. Definitely
looking to have a sense of urgency, not knowing where the judges scored that first round and hoping that he either needs a finish or to win the round to win the fight on the judges' scorecards. Frembling presses Velarde against the cage now, looking to land some dirty punches and a back calf strike there from Velarde. Nice little tactic. Did those hurt a lot, Lorenz?
Yeah, actually they do. He probably seen me fight and took that from me, but it's all right. It's patent.
You know, if I'm Velarde, I want to open exchanging. Frembling looks very stiff and rigid when they're separated. So if I'm Velarde, I'm looking to swing for the fences and really take advantage of the distance and create a better striking angle for myself.
Velarde doesn't look like he wants to take any more of those leg kicks, although a little bit stiff. He is a big man, and they look to reddening up that right leg of Velarde. Both men in the southpaw stance. Velarde, both men not eager to exchange here. Kind of waiting and waiting. Another leg kick, and Velarde looks like it's taking its toll a little bit there, Lorenz.
Yeah, you know, those kicks are starting to add up. I hope that Frembling knows that, and he's going to keep setting it up and attacking that leg, and he is.
Our leg kick's one of the more underutilized tactic that we see in MMA. We just saw Tarek Safadine beat Nate Marquardt via leg kicks dramatically, just running up the whole leg.
Yeah, you know, I think it's very underutilized. I think it's something that you can't come back from. If you get punched in the head and you get dazed, you can work your way out of that. But there's no working your way after your leg's all banged up.
Definitely. Frembling now in a dominant position, the most dominating position of the fight. He gets a takedown, moves to full mount, looking to posture up and land some strikes, but Velarde keeping him close at the moment. Now he's back. Excuse me, he's still in full mount.
10 seconds to go in the round. Velarde was a counter puncher the whole fight. In the third round, he needed to abandon that, be the aggressive fighter. He wasn't. Frembling got the single leg takedown and sealed his own fate.
The third round ends with Frembling in full mount, landing a few strikes. Velarde had the round early, landing a big left, but that takedown and moving to full mount will secure the victory in all likelihood for Matt Frembling here at Xplode Fight Series. Would you agree that Frembling takes a decision, Lorenz?
Yes, definitely. I think he takes the most. I'm thinking the unanimous decision. He's going to take that.
Yeah, either 29-28 or 30-27. As we said, the first round was very close. 2 and 3, much more clearly for Frembling. 2 being the most dominant, I would say, but the most dominant position coming in the third for Frembling.
You know, Velarde just didn't bring enough to the table. He was too hesitant for all of the fight. He was the better fighter in the open exchanges, yet he didn't want to exchange. He kept waiting for Frembling to throw at him instead of just being the aggressor and putting the pressure on Frembling.
I think those leg kicks had a factor, and also the distance factor. He was a shorter fighter, reach disadvantage there, maybe tough to just kind of commit, and neither men were very comfortable in their stand-up. Not exactly Lorenz Larkin in the cage out there today.
No, you know, there's only one of me. You know, I'm uncopyable, so no, but yeah.
Well, we're very excited to see you in the UFC octagon, man. That striking style you have, you're clearly one of the better strikers in that middleweight division. Anderson Silva, of course, leading the way.
The score goes as follows. By the score of 30-27, 29-28, 29-28, we have a unanimous decision. On the other red corner,
No surprise there. Matt Frembling earns the unanimous decision victory and puts a belt around his waist. I like that white belt. Has a nice look to it. Although you don't want to be a white belt when it comes to mixed martial arts. Well, folks, that's all tonight for XFS Xplode Fight Series. I'm Spencer Lazara for Michael Jenkin and Lorenz Larkin. Check out MMAinterviews.tv. Check out Xplode Fight Series official YouTube channel. Subscribe, please. Never quit. Watkins Bail Bonds. Have a good night.
great job. Thanks so much for this guy. Here's your winner of the Super Fight, the American Badass, ladies and gentlemen. Good job, man.
Please subscribe to our channel and look for more fights coming soon.